Welcome to the Light Leaders podcast, where I'll show you how to step into the light leader that you were born to be. If you're wanting to align with your soul purpose, activate your psychic abilities, and to create an impactful and abundant business, you're in the right place. My name is Athena Bailey, and I'm a trance channeler, a kinesiologist, and a business coach. And I'm here to remind you of the divinity you have within you, the soul purpose that guides you through life, and how through your business you can create the huge spiritual shift into 5D that we're all here for. In this podcast, you'll receive spiritual teachings for your business, manifestation techniques to quantum leap, channelings with energetic activations, and tried and tested business strategies specifically for spiritual entrepreneurs. If you're ready to kickstart your ascension and align with your higher self, let's get started. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to today's episode of Light Leaders. Today's a really big episode because I am interviewing 3 of the graduate students from the last round of Channeling Spirit Academy, Kiara, Nina, and Nini, to actually talk through how they channel for their spiritual business. So we're going to be going into how they channel their offerings, how they channel for their marketing, how channeling supports their business. They're all working as channelers. So inside of this episode, we're going to be going deep into that and what that actually looks like for them. In the previous Channeling Spirit Academy graduate interviews, we spoke more about the skills that they're using. We still have that episode if you want to go check it out, where we talk about how Jared uses channeling to clear land spirits for his work, where Sarah is channeling light language codes into artworks that she sells, and Jessica is channeling the nature herbs, flowers, the elementals in her healing work. So that episode is there, and this one is more focused on channeling to support you in your business and what that looks like. Reminder, Channeling Spirit Academy doors are open. The link will be down below for information on that, so you can check it out and see what all the fuss is about. And because this podcast episode has 3 different interviews in it, if you click open under this podcast, the info box, it will have the times for the different interviews, what time they start, what time they finish, and so on. So if you want to skip one or move to the next one, you can find that information below. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy. Today I've got with me the beautiful Nina Oberoi. She is a psychic channeler, an energy healer, a spiritual mentor, and she's on with us today to talk about how she incorporates channeling in her life and her business. Thank you for being here, Nina.
Thank you, Athena. I'm really excited to join you today on the podcast.
Thank you so much. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the work that you do?
Yes, so I am, as you said, a psychic channel, energy healer, and spiritual mentor, and I work with light workers and spiritual entrepreneurs, helping them heal their blocks, activating their spiritual gifts so that they can step into full alignment with their purpose work on this planet and manifest a life that they love, in a nutshell.
Beautiful. Oh, I love it. Beautiful. And for you, when we talk about having spirit-led life, because I think this is a big concept that I kind of talk about, I teach, and I notice that a lot of the Channeling Spirit Academy graduates, it's something as well that is quite an intentional thing that we develop in our life. It's having that spirit-led life. And I know that for you, you very much are living that as well. So could you tell me what it actually means for you, being spirit-led in your own life?
Yeah, so the way that I work with spirit in my daily life, I check in each and every day. So it's like in the morning time, I check my voicemail, as I call it. I sit down, I connect, receive any guidance that needs to come through for the day. So basically general guidance, but I also connect with my business guides and receive very specific information about what to focus on, certain people to reach out to. Like sometimes the details are very, very intricate of what direction I should be taking to fulfill my purpose. And what's really beautiful is that I'm also guided on what my purpose is on this planet and how to fulfill that. So it really is a beautiful co-creative process. So I've co-created my business with Spirit, followed the guidance that's been coming through, and that's both for programs and the way I work with clients as well has completely changed. I am a certified coach, and I was learning different modalities, and I was feeling that these are great, but there's something missing. There's something more. And the more I started working with Spirit, it was like not only just channeling advice. I was like, what else can I do with this? How do I help people heal limiting beliefs in the Akashic records, for example? And then I started downloading these new modalities that I started trying out with my clients and noticed that they had the most mind-blowing results. So it really is it's not just about receiving guidance. Like, I'm downloading ways of working with people that have been so transformational. An example I could get of that was I had a reading with a client just a couple of weeks ago, and it came through really clearly that she needed womb healing. And then she asked me, is that something you can do? And I was about to say no when Spirit pops in and goes, yeah, you can do this. So I say yes, even though I have no idea what that even means or how to do it. So I sat down the next day, got my journal out. Hey, the being who wants to come in and teach me about this, please come in. And then I connected with Goddess Isis for the first time, who said, hello, this is what womb healing is about. This is how you do a session. This is step 1, step 2, step 3. And in 10 minutes, I had a complete outline of what a session would look like and what that kind of specific healing work would be. And then I was like, okay, so I can do this as well. So it's really a process of learning as well, like following the guidance that comes through, trusting it, and learning a lot as well as I go.
I love that. Yeah, I love that, especially you saying it's like cooperative, because it's like a collaboration, right? It's like collaboration on your sessions. You're offering all of it, and that's amazing. I love that they give you the full outline for exactly what your client needs, and I think that's so powerful, combined with the trust as well you were speaking about, because we just trust that when the client comes to us, we're going to receive what we need to serve them and facilitate the greatest transformation from that channeling ability.
100%. And it's also really about alignments. I know that's a word that's like thrown around a lot, but it really is important. At least what I've noticed for myself, when I opened up to my psychic abilities 2 years ago, I said, who am I?
Yeah.
So they told me you're a channel, a healer, a teacher, and a guide. And in some way, I thought that meant like coaching. So I got certified. And then when I started working as a coach, I noticed that there was a bit of, not resistance, but it wasn't as exciting for me as like the channeling work. Recently, or like a few months back, I asked the same question, received the exact same answer. So I said, so yeah, coaching. And they said, no, we never said that. And I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me? And once I just stepped in fully to my purpose and like what my gifts are, that's when things really started to unravel for me, like from nowhere, like my business really started taking off. So it's really following that guidance and always making sure you're on track because when you are on track, it's like absolutely magical. I don't really have any other way to explain it. It is. And something else I'd love to say as well, like I've been hearing that I've been a healer for a long time, but it's actually a title that I've kind of been resisting because I wasn't really drawn to traditional healing work before. But the way that I've learned it now is literally a co-creation. It's the channeling abilities and the combination with healing that's truly transformational. So it is completely spirit-led. It's not like following something that I've learned in a course, and that's what makes it really aligned to the way I work and my strengths as well. So channeling abilities really open up a lot of doors.
That's so beautiful. It's like, yeah, the channeling is an initiation to healing work. I love that. That's so beautiful. And so, you've gotten to where you are now, where your life is this co-creative process. You're channeling, you're connecting in, your business is a reflection of that too. And I know you mentioned it was 2 years ago it really started for you. So what was this journey like of starting to channel, moving through Channeling Spirit Academy to now being in this place where you're living like this spirit-led and life and business?
Well, I opened up quite randomly 2 years back to my psychic abilities. So my channel was pretty strong, like to begin with when it first opened up, and I was channeling my main guide, or like an ascended master that I had connected with. And I was doing that for a while. It was amazing. But then I started wondering, what else can I do with this? And I didn't really have the knowledge. Like, I just would sit down and connect. I didn't have a specific way of doing it or any like protection practice in place. So I wasn't really that comfortable with experimenting because I didn't know exactly what I could do with it. And that's when I found your course on Channeling Spirit Academy, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. We get to try different things. And especially learning trance channeling, because I hadn't seen that anywhere else. I'd seen like psychic development courses, but that was something I was really drawn to. So that's what led me to the program. And it was super interesting to be able to go through the different themes week by week and learn to connect with different beings and getting acquainted with like the different energies and different realms and see what resonates the most and what I'm most drawn to as well, because I believe that's different for everyone. So then I definitely noticed what my strengths were as a channeler. But yeah, definitely is a process. I believe that the trust and surrender, even though it's sounds like it's the easiest part, it's actually the hardest part. So learning the channeling is one thing, but then really relaxing into that trust. So what I really loved about the channeling course was it opened up so many doors. I was like, wow, I can literally do anything with this, and understood that you can basically channel anything. So I understood, even though we were doing different modules on like different star beings or angels, like I'm like, okay, you can connect with specific business guides, you can connect with your own masculine and feminine energy, like you can literally channel anything. And even though certain things were like, oh, okay, are we channeling crystals this week? Really? It was just such an interesting experience to be able to try out different ways of channeling, because it's just endless, the opportunities, what you can do as a channel. So yeah, I felt that it definitely took time and practice, but that was what really unlocked my abilities even more. Yeah. Amazing. So I would definitely recommend Channeling Spirit Academy to anyone that is curious to open up to their channeling abilities, because it truly is magical. And only purpose work in business, but literally anything in your life, if you want to be spirit-led. I've had such interesting experiences, even like in my past relationship when we were having an argument that spirit actually came in and mediated. It was really interesting. So it's actually quite funny when you have that connection in your everyday life. It's receiving guidance about your relationships, about what you should be eating to feel healthy and energetic, and a co-creative process when you'd like to manifest in your life as well. So it's really beautiful.
So many possibilities, so much potential. It's like when that channel is open, it just comes through. So for you, like, you're running your business now and you've got this really strong channel. For you, how does it look in your business being a channeler? How does that come to play?
Yeah, so I channel a lot of guidance about the work that I do, my offerings, the pricing, who it's for, what people are drawn to me. So basically, I have my own business mentor
Yeah.
in the form of a spirit guide that is working closely to me. So that's a really beautiful way of leading in my business, because it feels a lot more aligned than anything else that you can just, any other business course out there with someone's step 1 to 10, do like this. And it's just a really beautiful way of building your business in a spirit-led way. And it's also incredibly beautiful in client sessions, because I literally never know what's going to happen. And it is so, just the combination of channeling and energy healing, because I can work with a client that's maybe worked on a certain issue for years, and I can get directly to the core of the issue and remove it instantly, and literally being shown like a whole map of their subconscious mind. And it's so beautiful to hear success stories afterwards, that something that someone's been struggling with for their entire life, that they were able to shift it in just one session. And sometimes I do notice, like, the more you channel, the more you can open up your other senses as well, because I'm predominantly clairaudient and claircognizant. But now during the sessions, it's super interesting, because I've basically opened up to all of my senses now, getting lots of information with lots of different beings present at the same time. So it's definitely a journey, and it keeps developing. And yeah, it's just super exciting to see where this all is going to go.
Yeah. Do you channel your offerings as well? Is that something that you do?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
So I connected with my business guide when I wanted to create my main core offering in my business, and I got the number of weeks, who it was for, module 1, module 2, module 3. Like, it was, sometimes it's very, very specific, and sometimes it's a more of like a loose plan, but the guidance is always there. And yeah,
I think that's so beautiful, because it really highlights that when you're working with someone like you who's a channel, it's everything is co-created. Like, you're this vessel for this transmission to come through, and they've resonated with you because of this transmission that only you can bring into this world. And I think that's what makes these channeled offers so potent.
Yeah, definitely. So it's always personalized to exactly what the person needs. And this work is so beautiful because, as I mentioned before, I'm certified in so many different modalities, and nothing is even close to this kind of work when you're able to get to the root of the problem. So it's not only about healing, it's about seeing someone where they are right now, where they want to be, being able to see like the highest timeline that is available for them, or whatever it is that they desire to create in their lives, and kind of see that path, what needs to happen for them to get to where they want to be from where they are now. And it's just so direct. It's to the point. There's no fluff. There's no time wasted during any client sessions. Doing a lot of surface level work or like unnecessary talking. It's like, okay, we know exactly what it is. We know exactly what needs to happen. And that's why the shifts are so powerful, because it's individual to that person. And so basically the offering is channeled by their higher self as well, who tells me what they need. So it's not only the healing work that is working on things from the past, it's also aligning them to what they desire to create in their lives, whether that be manifesting a life that they dream of, or the business of their dreams, or activating their spiritual gifts. So it's really beautiful work.
Totally
Very
personalized. I love that. And you're so right about, with channeling, there's no fluff. And in my experience, and especially, I've been getting psychic readings since I was a teenager. And, like, there are some amazing psychics out there, but I did find that there was a lot of just fluff, like, oh, this is feeling, and there was that, like, my soul was, or my ego maybe, was seeking the directness of just, okay, but just tell me, what's the path? How do I get there? What are the steps, you know? And I find that in channeling, that is very much available to us. And if spirit doesn't give me that, I'm like, why though? Like, why won't you give me the steps? And usually they have a good reason where they're like, okay, it's not time, or this other reason. But generally, it's always really, really direct, which I think is why it is so valuable to have that connection. It's not just tuning into your energy and feeling your emotions and going, oh, you're feeling this. It's actually from the higher beings that love you and support you. These are the things that need to happen. These are the things that need to be birthed into your reality.
Yes, definitely. And I definitely have the same experience with psychics before, because before I opened up myself, I was kind of in this, the psychics that I had been seeing, it was a lot of fluff and it was a lot of predictive kind of work. There was no depth in it, like understanding your situation from a higher perspective and understanding that you're actually creating it. Not simply just telling you that something's going to happen, because I feel that's very disempowering, and honestly, like 99% of the time they were wrong. So that's what the power is in this work, because I get messages almost like weekly from past clients who have come to me with certain things they've wanted to manifest in their lives, and I say, okay, these are the blocks, this is what needs to happen, do this and this and this, and then give them a time frame from when that would be possible, and just hearing back each and every time going, it happened, I manifested this. So it's really beautiful work.
It's high level work as well. Like, you're really doing high level work and channeling the highest possible guidance from them. And it's something I know that you do for yourself in your own life. So what does it look like? I know that you mentioned, like, you've had them as a mediator in your relationship, but what does it look like in your life, this connection to channeling?
Yeah, the beautiful part about channeling in other areas of my life is obviously my own personal development. So I usually check in daily with, like, my goals, like if there's any resistance there, my own healing work as well. My own personal expansion, because I think that's a little bit easy to forget when you're doing this work for other people. So basically it's just my own personal development, guidance on any area of my life. Decision making, definitely. If I have different options, I tune into them. And yeah, I would say that you can tune into spirit regarding absolutely anything.
I totally agree. It's like anything in our area we need help with, there's a guide to support us with.
And it's even like health-wise, if you notice that something's off, it's like, okay, do I need any supplements? Or no, it's a stuck emotion. Let's just clear that, it's just so beautiful.
So if someone's listening to this podcast episode and they're really resonating with you, your work, and they want to know what's the next step, how can they work with you? What are your offerings at the moment that they can step into with you?
So at the moment I offer readings, one-on-one readings. I offer business readings, and I have a 12-week spiritual mentorship program called Soul Activation, which is a personalized program for lightworkers and spiritual entrepreneurs to step into soul embodiment. And it's pretty next level, if I may say so myself.
I will say so too, because I've connected to it energetically. It is pretty next level from what I've seen from an energetic perspective. Sorry, continue, Nina.
Okay, so the Soul Activation program is a fully channeled program, which helps you gain soul clarity on who you are, why you're here, what you're here to do, your soul purpose in this lifetime, your unique spiritual gifts that are ready to be unlocked, activated, and clearing any blocks, limiting beliefs, energetic blocks, stuck emotions, to clear the way to fully be able to step into your purpose work and your most abundant level of being in all areas of your life. And it's really highly personalized work where we go deep in every single session. do deep clearings. And yeah, since it's completely channeled, it is really personalized to your soul blueprints and co-created together with your higher self. So it's guided by your higher self for you and your unique path. And that's what really makes this unique, I would say, to any other generic step-by-step program out there, because this is created and guided by your higher self for your highest timeline. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, really next level offer. So we'll put the link for that program down in the info box of this podcast so you can check it out. And Nina, could you tell us your Instagram handle so people can follow you?
Absolutely. It's channeled by Nina.
Perfect. So we'll also put the link for that down in the podcast info box. Well, thank you so much, Nina, for joining us, for sharing all your wisdom and the amazing journey you've been on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Today on the podcast, we have a special guest, and it's Kiara, who is a psychic, a channeler, and a healer. She is actually also a graduate of Channeling Spirit Academy and someone who I have been working with for quite some time. Kiara, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. So as you said, I'm a healer, psychic channel, and I started my journey with the Akashic Records. So I still do Akashic Records readings as well. And I grew up in Germany, but been traveling quite a lot recently. So and I'm really excited to be here.
Amazing. Thank you, Kiara. Can you tell us a little bit about the work that you do? Especially, you've got the Akashic Records, you've got the channeling. Can you explain a little bit about the work you do with others?
Yeah, so I started with the Akashic Records. So basically, tapping into people's Akashic Records, telling them about their soul work, about their psychic abilities. And what I kind of do now is, mainly help people identify, understand, and heal their blocks, their limiting beliefs. And because I'm also a healer, I also then go and help them heal all of that. So that they can step into their soul path, into their soul work. That's what I do. So it's been a really exciting journey.
Amazing. Beautiful work you're doing in the spirit realms there. So with that much work that you're doing in the spirit realms, where it's the healing, the channeling, connecting to the Akashic Records, and I feel like I've seen this in you, is that you're living quite a spirit-led life. If I were to ask you to kind of, what does that mean for you? How would you define that, living a spirit-led life? What does that mean to you?
For me, it's being really connected to myself and my soul, and also to the universe, and just being really, led and guided by my spirit guides, by my soul, and just living life in that way. And what I have found is that it really puts me in this state of flow, and just feeling like a lot of the things I'm doing are really aligned, and it feels really good to me, and I can always ask for guidance with my spirit team. And I just feel I'm really supported, basically, and really connected to everything outside of me.
Amazing. So it's the alignment, it's the support that comes from having the spirit team with you. Amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you've been on this journey where you've been connecting to the Akashic Records, channeling, to now living a life where it is really in alignment. You're getting the information, you feel supported. But I can imagine that you haven't always felt that way. There probably was a time when you weren't connected, you were feeling unsupported, maybe you were out of alignment. Can you share with us the journey from first kind of starting out, doing the Akashic Records, going through Channeling Spirit Academy, to now being in a place where you're connected and tuning in and receiving?
Yeah, so for me, it was kind of a really quick journey, I guess. So it actually just started beginning of last year. And I kind of got to the point of having an Akashic Records reading after being like chronically sick for a while and then finding natural healing remedies and starting with yoga and meditation. And that kind of put me in that direction of looking for more and just wondering if maybe there's more to life than just the material world, basically. And yeah, then I had an Akashic Records reading and I realized, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do that work as well, but I had no idea how or what to do, basically. And then, yeah, I think in 2-3 weeks after that, I found Channeling Spirit Academy. And I had practiced by myself a little bit, but I didn't really know what I was doing, what I was receiving, if I was making it up. So I really, I signed up for Channeling Spirit Academy. And then the whole journey started. Like for me, it was really that course basically that opened up a lot for me, that healed a lot of my blocks, helped me understand what I actually need to do to channel. And then I think that was in May when I joined Channeling Spirit Academy, and I went through it. And shortly after that, I just started out offering Akashic Records readings. At first, just to a few like friends, just to try it out. And yeah, then I started sharing that on Instagram, what I was doing. And it went like really quickly. I think that was in September. And yeah, that was the start of my journey basically. And now I do a lot of different things, but I still do Akashic Records readings. And I mean, Channeling Spirit Academy was the starting point for me for doing this work basically.
I love that. I love how quickly you moved as well. Like when you really think about it, it's been such a short but fast transformation, and I can see the work you're doing now, and it's quite high level, and it's really amazing that it's happened so quickly. And I think for anybody listening, it kind of speaks to when you're in alignment, it can happen quickly. The transformation is fast. The growth can happen quickly. Amazing. So now with where you're at and you are running a soul-led business, spirit-led business, how do you feel that channeling actually supports you in your business? Or what role does spirit and channeling play in your business?
I think a pretty big role. It's basically how I'm building my business. Like I ask for guidance on pretty much everything. Like what I'm supposed to offer, what my clients need, how many clients are going to attend a group session. Like I know all of that before, and I also ask about pricing, and I channel all my offerings. Like when I do a new offering, I channel it. So yeah, it's the foundation, I would say. And I also think that's why it works so well, because it's been so fast, like it's gone so quick, and everything just flowed. Like it wasn't really much of a trial and error. It was okay. I asked my spirit guides for guidance. I followed it. And it's a huge process of surrender as well, I think, because in the beginning you're like, really? I don't know, like, because I mean, there's so many business courses out there as well, but I really found that, just following my spirit guides guidance was the key for me, really. So yeah, it's the foundation of everything I do. I mean, I channel all my programs, and everything I do is really guided by spirit. So yeah.
Yes, and yes. Like I so agree with all of that. It's the foundation for everything, and even for me now as well. Every big move, every big step I have in my business, it's just because of spirit. It's just the guidance we receive. Every offering, it's still channeled. And it's interesting because that, I've got to surrender. It happened to me like a couple weeks ago when Isis showed up and was like, it's time to launch. And I was like, really? Already? Okay. But it's the surrender. Like that's a part of it. That's the role we're here to have with spirit, surrender.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a huge lesson, I guess, because sometimes it's really hard to just trust, and because sometimes they like bring through things that you wouldn't have thought of, or that you're like, okay, because I think, for example, for my first group session they said, okay, 30 people are going to show up. And I was like, really? 30 people? And I just couldn't imagine it. But like the day I did the session, the 30th person signed up, and I was like, okay. And that, really helped me to start like trusting it, and really trusting all the guidance and just following through with it. And it really helps me reach my goals, everything I want to help people with. So it's amazing.
It's beautiful. It's the best support that you could possibly have. That's amazing. And it's amazing you've built your business that way, and you're able to do the work you're here with that level of impact. So, I mean, that being your business, do you also channel your offerings, for example? Or is there a recent offering that you've been channeling that you've recently launched?
Yeah, I do. At the moment, like a few months ago, I channeled an offering, like a one-on-one, where I help people heal their blocks, their limiting beliefs, and kind of activate their divine essence, step into their soul purpose. And I have quite a few clients going through that right now. And I'm currently in the process of channeling a group program with a lot of activations and healings that also helps you, let go of any blockings, any beliefs that you have about yourself, of how to live your life, how to work with your spiritual gifts, and just clear out everything that's blocking you from living the life that you want to live, basically. And I'm going to launch that in probably 2 months. We'll see. But pretty much everything I offer is channeled. So I channel a lot of the activations, the healings, and with the program I currently do, there's also a lot of channeled, recorded channelings for the clients that go through it. So I do offer quite a lot of channeled content, basically.
It sounds like amazing. So everything's channeled. It comes through you, through spirit. Beautiful. And so that being your business, what's your kind of day-to-day life, non-business, maybe it is business related, but your day-to-day working with your spirit guides, like what does it look like for you to be a channel on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so I usually check in with my guides in the morning, and just ask if there's anything that's important to me, ask for any guidance, any healings, any upgrades I'm supposed to receive. And also when I'm going through, I don't know, like a transition, or I have to make a decision in my life, I always consult my spirit guides, get guidance, and it's really helped me understand a lot of the things that have happened in my life, a lot of the people that are in my life, and the relationships with them. So in the beginning, at least for me, when I started to channel, I was just channeling a lot about what has happened, and how to deal with things. So it just helps me to feel guided and supported, and just make the decision that's for my highest good, basically. I really consult spirit on a daily basis, just to support me in living the life that I want to live.
Beautiful. So it's that unconditional love, support, just in all areas of our lives, right? I just like, when I hear you talk, I'm like, God, we are so blessed, like, to be able to have access to this, because honestly, it just makes life and business a lot easier. It's not always having to think or figure out the next step. It's having that spiritual connection that allows things to be easy, you know?
That's true. Yeah, a lot of things in my life have become really easy because of that. Like not only business, but also other things that you can just ask for guidance about. But I guess especially in business, it still surprises me how easy it was to build a business. Like, I don't know, sometimes I still think, okay, this is so easy. It's so effortless. Like you just set a goal, you ask for guidance on how to get to that goal, and then it happens. So yeah, I'm still surprised myself sometimes, even though I've been doing this for a bit now. But yeah,
it still surprises me. Like this whole week, I've been like, I can't believe it's been this easy. Thanks, Spirit. It never stops surprising you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah.
So if somebody is listening right now, Kiara, and they're going, ooh, I really resonate with her energy. I want to know how I can work with her more, how I can find out about her work. Can you let people know how they can work with you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at Kiara, Chiara, and Nala, Naala. So you can find me there. And I also have my booking link there, my sessions explained, and yeah, basically everything I do. So you can reach out to me on Instagram and find me there. I'm open to answer any questions. So that's the best way to reach me, basically. Yeah, so my sessions are for people who are basically ready to heal their blocks, heal their limiting beliefs, and really have that desire, that call to step into their soul purpose, activate their divine essence. And what we do in my sessions, in the Akashic Records readings, we really identify your blocks. We look at why you're not experiencing the reality that you want to experience in your life. And in my healing sessions and in my programs, we work on healing and clearing and shifting, and also activating more of who you are, basically, and clearing away everything that's not in alignment with who you want to be, who you came here to be, and what's on your soul path, basically. So it's for everyone looking for that kind of transformation, to really step into their purpose, basically.
Beautiful. So transformation, stepping into soul alignment, clarity, and purpose. Beautiful. Love it, Kiara. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story, your journey. It's been amazing to have you, and hopefully our audience has benefited, has learned something new today as well.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Kiara. Today I've got a special guest on with us today, Irene Barbina, who is a spirit channeler, a healer, a spiritual teacher, a coach. She's a graduate of Channeling Spirit Academy, and she is providing channeling sessions, which she is going to be talking to us today about, and how she actually lives and runs a spirit-aligned life and business. Hello and welcome.
Hello, Tina. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on today. Now, I'd love if you could introduce in your own words, tell us a little bit about yourself and your work and what you do.
Okay, so I am Irene. Everybody calls me Nini, and you will find me mostly as Nini online. I am from Northeast Italy. And that said, I am a spirit channeler and a healer and a teacher, and I have been working as a teacher and a healer for quite a very long time, about 10 years at this point. And as Athena said, I'm a graduate from Channeling Spirit Academy, which opened every sort of doors for me, as I think we are going to discuss soon. In my work, I help people overcome their wounds and limitation. So the core of my work is healing wounds, trauma, limiting belief, and helping people discover their psychic abilities, because all of these things, they shape us into shape we don't recognize ourselves in past a certain point. And the moment a client recognizes themselves being forced into a shape, it's the moment where they seek my help, and I help them break the mold and start living a soul-aligned self, a soul-aligned life, and becoming gradually their real self, their authentic self. And so they step into the sovereignty, and their life changes, their relationship changes, and it's just a long but incredibly transformative process to go through.
I love that. That's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that's what so many light workers are looking. They're looking to create that soul-aligned life. And I think that as channelers, we add this other element to it, which is soul-aligned and spirit-led. And I know that's been quite a focus for you, creating the spirit-led life and the spirit-led business. And in your own words, if I were to ask you, what does it mean for you to have a spirit-led life?
To me, a spirit-led life is a life where spirit work is integrated in every activity. There is always a part of my brain that is connected to spirit, and my intuition and the information I gather and my relationship with the spirit world lead me to a series of things, changing beliefs, releasing people, releasing situations, and everything that was constricting me and giving me major anxiety. I had anxiety for like 20 years in my life, and I'm mostly anxiety free now. And so a spirit-led life is something that creates a situation around you and in you that impacts your life and the quality of your life and your health, and everything around you changes.
Amazing. Yeah, it's so interesting because it is like it's always coming through. It's always being open to that guidance and receiving, and really being supportive to live like just a beautiful life, I think, as well. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to know from you, what was your journey like in actually learning to channel, studying and channeling Spirit Academy? You know, where were you when you first started to open up to this, to now being in a place where you're channeling for yourself, for your business? Like, it's quite a big journey that you've undertaken. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yes, it is. I used to channel a bit already before channeling Spirit Academy, but nowhere near as much. Like, it was a fraction. I had a couple of guides that worked with, they would take me on journeys, but my readings, for example, were mostly based on my psychic abilities, and me scanning the energy of the client and so on. Since then, it was a pretty smooth transition because the academy gave me so many tools, and I am so motivated into getting better at things and improving myself that I immediately started putting in place a series of systems, routines, and so on. And soon I realized that it was not just communication, but I could rely on my guides for information, yes, but also healing, upgrades, activations, and also the creations of offers, the right offers at the right time in my business is about that. And it was smooth, but growing and growing and growing and growing all the time. And I'm still finding out things that I can do. And the latest thing I've been activated to is light codes. And it's amazing. That's fantastic.
Oh yes, it really is. It becomes like it's fun because you're just like, oh wow, there's this thing that can come through. It makes my heart happy to say like all these activations and upgrades, and that's the thing. It's not just, you know, hearing words being told what to do. It's like you get so many gifts and upgrades for them, and I think that's the real beautiful thing about having such a strong spiritual connection. And I love that you've spoken about that you're channeling some of your offers as well, because I think that's a big thing. I think there are a lot of people listening to this who are channelers in their life, but they haven't yet connected to, but how can I connect that with my business? So when you say you're channeling your offers, what does it look like for you to actually be able to be supported in your business by your channeling?
So it's complicated, but it's so fun because I channel most of my offers, like 90%. And I have, for example, I have 3 different guides that work with me on my offers. One of them works on content. My content is scheduled in advance, weeks in advance. I have a rotations of themes that I take from different points of view. But when it comes the moment to open Instagram and actually write the post, I channel and work with him. So he gives me the exact angle that people need on that day, or I need to express to be aligned with my own message, with the things I say. Because sometimes, you know, we try to moderate ourselves about things and try to align to a certain way to express ourselves, and he impedes me to do that. and so I work with him, and once a week I keep a day open. Usually it's on Thursdays, and I do a fully channeled message that is completely unscheduled. I just ask what people need to hear today. And lately it has been mostly about healing, because there is a lot of healing that needs to take place right now. And the other 2, one works on the programs with me, which is Ashtar, you know him very well. And he says you have to do this and this and this, and if you accept, of course, but he gives me a proposal. And he is the one who brought me more into healing, because he said there is a lot of need and you are very good at it. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And he says you have to offer this kind of activation. And after a while, he comes back and says you have to offer a bigger thing. And this is the structure. And this is the maximum number of people you're going to be able to handle in this modality. And in between, he activates me. So basically, it is so my business and my life, my spiritual life, go together and expand together. And lastly, there is a 3rd one, and she works on energy output, like how my energy is felt through my work, through my messages, and into my pictures. And she channels light codes. She only does light codes and works on my energy centers. So the vibration of my message is heard and perceived and activating to, you know, the right people.
That's incredible. That's like, your business is so supported, and you're literally like you're embodying what it is to be a live channel, not just somebody tuning in once a day going, okay, what do I need to do? You're actually living. All parts of my business are run by spirit, not just my session. I love that you've got like that one day where you devote and you spend time, and that all parts of your program, it's like you're channeling, you're getting the activations. Also really like that energy output. I haven't heard of that before. That's really fascinating to me that she works on the vibration to actually change how you're received, because I think that's a big part of it. Like our guides, they're connected to the people who need our medicine. And so they're like, how can we put you in front of the people so that they connect with you, can feel you, and realize that they need you? So yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That was really, really in depth. And I think it gives a good kind of example to people, like what's possible when you're really living and embodying your work as a channel. This is what it looks like.
It's very fun, because when I channel an offer, I take a big piece of paper and at least 3 colored pens, And one is like a number of lessons, number of sessions, prices, and one is this day you're going to take like this to talk about this, and this day about talk, and these are lists of posts and communications, and in the middle it's a third color, and it's just light language.
Wow. Oh. That is amazing. It's like you're getting the activations at the same time. Wow.
Because she gives me the signals that I need to integrate in myself, so the vibe really gets out. Because I used to be a very contained person, as a personality, and also in my energy, because Italy is not the most witchy friendly nation in Europe. And so it was important for us, from the people I learned from, to be relatively quiet, not super open. And this created into me a series of self-protection systems that now is time to get rid of. And so they're working on that a lot. Yes,
That's beautiful that they're actually helping you shift through that. I love that you're channeling the activations at the same time as the offering. And I feel that a lot of people, they can't really fathom like how different it is to be a channeler in your business. They think, oh, I just sit and talk to my guides. But in reality, it's all of this stuff that's happening, and it's massive. And I did want to ask you the question, like, how do you feel being able to channel has changed your life or your business? But I feel like your entire business is just channeling. Like, without channeling, there's no business.
No, not anymore. There used to be, but not anymore. And I'm always connected. So, for example, I wanted to put out some freebies, and it was good material to me, but it kept not happening. Like every time I was about to record them, something would go wrong. And then I realized, okay, I should not put them out, probably. I don't know what to do instead yet. But when you are so on the vibe, on the same wavelength, you will receive a series of messages all the time. And day to day, daily on daily basis, that becomes very fun. Because I have chronic illness, I have chronic pain, and which makes me also very inclined to work with people that are in my condition, because there's a lot of healing, not just in the body, because if a condition is chronic, you can manage it, but it's not really going to go away. It can, but not that often. But the mindset, the self-perception, and there's a lot to heal in there. And I'm always open to clients that are going through something like that, sudden changes in their bodies, and they struggle to keep up with it. But I personally, I refuse to be a victim of my situation, and I'm always finding new things. And one of the things that came to me, for example, was a certain way of eating. It's a protocol for autoimmune disease that nourishes the body and manages inflammation. Because I had another problem. I have been a victim, in this case, of the diet industry for 20 years, and my metabolism is gone, and my relationship with food is very bad. And so what could I do? Because when I started the protocol, it worked well, but I still felt very constricted because it was a diet in a way. So I asked myself, there must be a guide for this. We have a guide for everything. And since then, I do meal plan with a guide.
Oh, wow.
I have a notebook, and once a week, usually on Thursdays I'm my
Channeling day.
favorite. Yeah, exactly my favorite channeling day. And we lay down the meal plan, including snacks, for the next week, so I know what to buy. And two things are fun, because one is that he gives me a series of combinations that I will never think about. and they turn out to be good. And also my writing changes.
Yeah.
So when I channel him, my writing becomes super neat. And because he's a very neat person, he's like a scribe kind of vibe. And also he comes with me to the grocery store because I go shopping with a list, obviously, but also staying open to him. And he points me out, you should get the tea, and you should try that kind of veggie, and so on. So that helped immensely with my, nourishment needs, because it fits perfectly into the plan, but it's channeled. He really knows what he's doing.
Wow, that's amazing. It's really like you've got these, I'm gonna say, like invisible friends who are helping you with everything. You've got like your invisible nutritionist, like invisible business coach, like all helping. Like that's awesome. I love that. I'm gonna ask my guys about meal prep because I haven't heard that one before, and I really like that.
Because I remembered you saying we have a guide for everything, and I really took that like into my heart that this I'm going to remember this. And sometimes I forget, and sometimes I'm like, hey La, you can do this.
Oh yeah, I have help up there. Oh, that's right. I can ask for help. Yeah.
I don't have to be on my own on things that I'm not sure how to handle, because I can channel.
That's exactly it. That's what I love about it. It's just how much support we get for every area in your life. So I know that you spoke about, you've got these offerings, and you mentioned that when you're channeling the offering, you've got 3 different pans, you're doing the light codes as well. When you're channeling an offering, how do you know that something wants to come through you, like a new offering? Is it a feeling? Are you told? How do you know that it's time?
It is like a pushing against me, like something nudging me very strongly and very annoyingly until I stop everything, isolate, and let things go through. It can go on for days because I might not have the energy to do the whole work on one day. But yes, it's like poking me until they have my attention. And it used to happen to me before Channel Spirit Academy, but at the time I didn't know exactly how to tap into that, and now I'm able to.
Amazing. Yeah, I get something quite similar where it's like I feel that there's something there, and it's almost like pushing me, and I've got to stop and be like, okay, what is that? And then they're like, oh, it's an offering. So could you give us an example of like an offering that maybe you're offering at the moment, that's something that you've channeled through?
Okay, there's 3 things mostly that I do more frequently. One is readings. My readings are entirely channeled, and I put clients in contact with their guides. And while we can talk about anything during the readings, I always frame them in terms of personal development and healing, and finding your soul purpose, because that's what I am passionate about, and my clients usually want that as well. Then I have one healing activation that is called the Healing Spark Activation, which is light codes, and it has the goal of helping initiating a healing process, because the issue with trauma and blocks, there's 2 issues. The one is that if we are not aware of them, the healing energy will just bounce off, and they will get a resonance, and you will feel negative emotions related to them, but there is no real communication going on. And the second is that we can't heal what we can't see. We can have a feeling, but until we get a look at it and understand what it is, we can start unraveling it. I say unravel because I always imagine blocks and trauma like dark knots placed in various parts of the bodies. So the activation works with light codes and illuminates the core, the roots of the trauma. And so it brings things to light where then the healing can start. And along that, I have I'm launching now the Healing Flame, which is an activation plus 4 healing sessions. So we do the activations, we understand where the blocks are and what we want to work on, and then there is 4 one-on-one healing sessions that I recommend doing every 2 weeks, because it takes time then to integrate and healing can be usually is messy in its glory, and so it takes some time. So this is what is out right now.
Beautiful. And those programs, do you channel them?
Yes.
Beautiful.
It's channeled, the shape, and also of course the light codes are channeled. They were given to me. Beautiful. And then of course the sessions are channeled as well.
Beautiful. And so when you say like activations, channeling activations, if someone's listening to this right now and they're like, oh, what is the difference between receiving a channeled activation and receiving a channeling session, would you be able to explain that?
Okay. So the difference between an activation and a healing session is that the activation is an ignition. So let's say trauma is like having a closet full of trash. The activation is opening the closet and illuminating the inside. And at that point, I usually start combing a little bit through, so everything inside becomes visible. And that's the activation. The healing sessions are actually taking the trash out of the closet, and every piece of trash has to be then discarded, transformed, or it can become something you learn from. That depends on the kind of trauma we are working with. But that's the main difference. Until the closet is empty, and that space now it's open for you to receive something much better than trash. Because that's one of the key things about healing, is to make space, because there is so much of us that is closed off behind doors, and that space is just filled with grief, pain, trauma, fear, whatever, and it impedes us to expand. We need to empty that space to expand and receive and become more, getting into our power, getting sovereign. So it's not something you can do. You can't have one thing without the other.
Totally. That's such a good analogy. I love that. It's pulling out the trash to make room for the new. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So if anybody is listening to this and you've heard how much channeling that Nini does and all the different ways that she can support you, definitely check out her offerings. There'll be a link for her offerings so you can find out more about her social media, so you can check out what she has to offer. Just down underneath the link here. Otherwise, Nini, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for coming on and sharing all about your channeling.
It was an absolute pleasure, and also thank you for Channeling Spirit Academy, because that was mind-blowing. That was a pivotal moment, a life-changing moment getting into Channeling Spirit Academy. So it was amazing. Thank you very
so
much.
So my loves, Channeling Spirit Academy doors are open. I'm so excited to bring to you this new upgraded version of what this course over the past few years has become. As you know, we've spent the last 6 months working on creating this new next level that we have now. I spent so much time filming all the content professionally, updating the content, adding new modules, channeling on it. We've built out so much, and I'm so proud of what we have and so excited to share it with you. In this program, you'll learn to channel your spirit guides, angels, your higher self, ancestors, crystal divas, star beings, and so much more. You'll learn to light language channel, trance channel, automatic ride, indirect channel. There are so many modules. There is no other program that is as comprehensive as Channeling Spirit Academy. It is the only course of its kind. This is the signature channeling course. No spiritual development course, psychic development course has gotten results like this course. Take a moment, go on the website, scroll through the testimonials, book a session with one of the Channeling Spirit Academy graduates, go for it. We have so many amazing results from this program. And in this program, you're not only going to learn to channel, you're going to go through a personal transformation and be supported to also start your own business as a channeler if that's something that appeals to you, or incorporate it into your own healing or coaching business. I'm very confident to say that Channeling Spirit Academy is the best channeling course out there. Like we get such insane results with the students that come through. Honestly, this is because of 3 parts. You know, we don't just go, okay, here's the steps, here's how you do it, let's do some practices, okay, off you go. So I actually have a proper system. I have my signature system, the Ray method, which actually takes you through a system for channeling. It actually shows you how to shift your energy, access the quantum, connect to higher dimension, protect, clear, and expand your energetic capacity to receive divine information. Channeling is not just close your eyes and call in a guide and start talking, right? If you're listening to this and you've been trying to channel and you're doing that, you're probably not getting much. There's an actual method to it. Even though it's a spiritual practice, there is a method to it. Second thing we do that's really powerful is we do energy activation. So most people have really dormant higher chakras, higher energy systems, and we work on activating these higher energy systems. So accessing high frequencies and energies is much easier. You need to be able to expand your energy to receive, and we do this by actually opening it up and activating your energy system. And the third thing we do is energy healing. So many of us have wounds, traumas, fears, limiting beliefs that block our key psychic centers. So in Channeling Spirit Academy, we support you to clear any blocks, fears, past life and life wounds that are stopping you from accessing your psychic ability. You also get an insane amount of support. You get practice sessions where you can pair up, get guided into channeling sessions. Actually, during Channeling Spirit Academy, you end up receiving so many channeling sessions from the other participants. With the coaching calls, you can share what's been happening, get help, get guidance, ask any questions you may have. There's also energy sessions with me where I support you in clearing blockages, supporting you, doing energy work with you, whatever you need to actually help support you. There's also monthly trans-channeling sessions where I'll actually go ahead and channel beings so you can continue to receive their support, their divine information, their guidance, and their activations. Channeling Spirit Academy is not a DIY, figure it out on your own type of program. It is a high-touch mentorship. It's been running for years. It's designed to get you amazing results, and the previous results speak for themselves. If you're ready to start channeling your guides, actually know who's working with you, be able to sit, talk with them, get guidance about your life, about what you need to be doing, get clarity on your soul purpose, understand why you're here, what you're doing, channel your offerings. In this episode today, we spoke about the graduates who are channeling their business offerings, so channeling their marketing strategy. We have another episode of Light Leaders where we interview some of the graduates who are channeling land spirits and clearing land. That's their work now. We interviewed a graduate who is channeling flower essences and herbs as part of her healing work with her clients. We interviewed a graduate who is channeling light language artworks and selling those. That's part of her work here. So there are so many pathways you can take from this course, and it's really designed to support you in stepping into your own soul gifts. So I'd love to invite you to join us. You know where to find me. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram if you have any questions. If you're not sure if it's right for you, just go ahead, send me a message on Instagram. You can, if you click on the info section of this podcast, you'll find the link there. And you can also just click on the link for the Channeling Spirit Academy website, read through the testimonials, read through what the actual syllabus is. And I'm so looking forward to connecting with you. Sending so much love to you. Blessings.